They thought she was dead the moment the ambush closed. Smoke swallowed the road, gunfire tore through the convoy, and in the chaos of shouted orders and burning metal, the Marines pulled back, leaving one woman behind in the kill zone. What they didn't know was that the woman they'd lost was an ex-Navy SEAL, and she wasn't running. She was hunting. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening. Her name was Evelyn Cross, though few ever used it. To most, she was just Cross, a contractor attached to the unit for terrain guidance. She lay pressed against the dirt as dust settled on her eyelashes, listening to the echoes fade. Her radio was shattered. Her shoulder burned where shrapnel had kissed bone. Above her, the sun filtered through torn leaves, trembling with the distant concussion of mortar. She let the pain register, cataloged it, and set it aside. Survival came first. She counted her breaths. 1, 2. The enemy thought the ambush was complete. They were wrong. Evelyn rolled into shadow and rose into a crouch, the old instincts sliding back into place like a familiar coat. Years ago, she'd walked away from the teams to many ghosts. Not enough sleep, but the training never left. She checked her weapon, low on ammo, but clean. Her mind drifted, uninvited, to the Marines she'd seen moments earlier, young faces tight with fear and resolve. They would blame themselves for leaving her. She wouldn't let that stand. The jungle was loud if you didn't know how to listen. Evelyn moved through it like a held breath. Leaves brushed her sleeves. Insects ticked against her skin. She tracked the enemy by what they missed: the snapped twig, the boot scuff, the confidence of men who believed the fight was over. She smiled once, without humor. Her first strike wasn't a shot, it was patience. She waited until the patrol fanned out, then took the rear guard silently, easing him down so gently he never knew he'd been chosen. The second man turned, confusion flickering. Too late. Evelyn's hands shook afterward, not from fear but from memory. She closed her eyes, steadied herself. This was the line she hated. This was the line she crossed anyway. Far away, the Marines regrouped behind a ridge. Whispers rippled through them. Questions, guilt, disbelief. The lieutenant stared at the map, jaw clenched. He'd ordered the pullback. He'd left someone behind. Air grew thick with what-ifs. Back in the trees, Evelyn advanced. She dismantled the ambush piece by piece, never staying long enough to be seen. A shot here, a shadow there. The enemy began to fracture, voices rising, movements less sure. Panic has a sound. Evelyn heard it and kept going. Then came the moment that nearly broke her. She found a wounded enemy fighter, barely older than the Marines she meant to save. He raised his hands, eyes wide, pleading in a language she affrembered. Her finger hovered. The jungle held its breath. Was this mercy or a mistake that would cost others their lives? She lowered the rifle, tied his hands, moved on. The decision slowed her. It also reminded her why she'd left before. The weight of choosing never gets lighter. The climax came at the ravine where the ambush had been staged. The enemy commander barked orders, trying to reassert control. Evelyn found her angle, heart pounding now, undeniable. She took the shot that mattered. The command fell apart. Men scattered like startled birds. At the same moment, the Marines heard it: the shift. The gunfire thinned. Silence pooled where chaos had lived. Then a signal flare arced into the sky. Green. They moved as one. Training answered doubt. They surged forward, coordinated, relentless, tools striking in unison as if guided by a single will. The jungle gave them back their own. When they reached the road, they found the aftermath under. Evelyn stood with her back to a tree, pale, steady eyes watchful. For a heartbeat, no one spoke. Then murmurs spread, disbelief warming into awe. Someone laughed, a shaky sound. The lieutenant approached, voice low. "We thought we lost you." She shook her head. "Not today." Later, as medics worked and the sun slid west, the Marines gathered close. There was gratitude in their faces, and something else: respect earned the hard way. Evelyn felt the ache settle in her bones, the familiar pull to disappear before thanks could turn into questions. But she stayed. For them. Because courage I sent about never being left behind, it's about choosing to stand alone when others need you. And just like that first moment in the ambush, when she lay still and listened to the world decide, the ending came quietly, one breath, one choice, one hunter stepping back into the light. If this story stayed with you, share your thoughts below and subscribe to Whispered Words. Your presence matters. Here in the next story is already whispering your name.